Well, it's midweek Wednesday, and there's only one story in all the papers today. No, no, it's not the war. WWIII hasn't broken out between Ukraine and the Ruskies. No, this one is Prince Andrew agreeing a settlement with Virginia Guthrie. Anyway, the meat of the story is that he's not going to go to trial, and he's going to give her a few quids in the back pocket so that she can stop trying to take him to trial. So different numbers bouncing around. 10 million, 12 million, that's Yankee dollars. So take that down by a third for UK quids. So a lot of money on the line. Who knows? It's not something which I'm at all interested in, but the papers seem to be making a big deal about it. What the papers don't seem to be making a big deal about is if this lady, when she was 17, why she didn't go to the authorities, the police, when she was in London or in New York or on one of these Caribbean islands. This just seems to be totally omitted from any sort of journalism type things. Why? As far as I can make out, she wasn't under house arrest, lock and key. She could move comparatively freely. If these acts were going on and she didn't want to be taking part of them, why didn't you disclose and make it known to the authorities at the time? For whatever reason, and I can't find any information on that, she comes back a few years later and she takes Epstein to court. He pays her an amount of money, and he has a little holiday in one of the government facilities and exits. The few years later goes by, and here presto, she's taken Prince Andrew to court for basically the same sort of thing, by the sounds of it. Lawyers are expensive, so it's difficult to know. But if you're a wealthy person and you've got lots of money, how much is your reputation worth? So if you believe that you're innocent, and Prince Andrew says that he is, then why wouldn't you fight this tooth and nail to the end? The other way to look at it is that he's not a particularly wealthy person. He gets money as a handout from the Queen on a yearly basis. That's about £5,000 a week. Yeah, £5,000 a week, about £250,000 UK quids a year. But when you're talking about these big high-priced lawyers, £250,000 not going to go very far. There's nothing firm in this, but reading between the lines, it looks like Her Madge has stepped in, opened a handbag and to pay it off. The other thing which is in the mix is obviously the Her Madge's big do in the summer, diamond, silver, platinum, whatever jubilee everybody's getting 2 days holiday, and I think it's June. Yay! 4-day weekend. Yay! Maybe they're wanting the decks cleared and all this nonsense. Trials. Did he sweat? Did he not sweat? What type of pizza did he eat? Should you really be having pineapple on a pizza? And all of the other 101 things which would probably come out in the court. Doesn't look too good. There's statements backwards and forwards. Basically, the prince is not admitting any guilt, but he's saying, here's some, off you go. But you've got to sign something saying that you're not going to come back later. Wanting a second bite of the cherry. Different papers, different amounts. The Tory graph saying 12 million UK quits. The Queen apparently gets somewhere in the region of 20 odd million a year from a Duke of Lancaster estate. So it's 6 months for the rent and what she makes off that. And that's going for the old Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew is persona non grata. He's out of the mix. Hard to tell. He's a person that in his younger days served in the military, and you've got to respect anybody that's prepared to go to war for their country. What he did in his private life, I have no idea. And personally, I have no interest in it. But the papers obviously do. And all of the main UK papers, it's front page stuff. Various statements on it. So that's the tittle tattle. Now for why didn't we get WWIII? WWIII. President Biden was saying, yep, it's Wednesday. Wednesday's going to be WWIII big kickoff day. Now that we've got the Super Bowl out of the way and we can get down to war games and start cranking up the old production of the munitions. Ka-ching. Let's make some money. Ka-ching. The business of the United States is business. Ka-ching. So in all of this, whose side should anybody be on? Well, not one really. But we've got one side, which is the Ruskies saying, here, presto, we want to sell you some gas. We're selling you a load of gas to the Jerrys, and everybody else in Europe, they're saying, well, pleased with it. It's nice, cheap gas. It's Russian gas. It's CH4. It's methane. It's really, really good methane. Fresh from the old well, all the way. We want to sell you some more. We want to sell you some more that we're prepared to put 10,000 million US Yankee dollars into the fund, 10 billion pounds worth, and we'll build Nord Stream 2. Germans are getting gas from the Noggies up in Norway. They need so much gas, and Russia supplies whatever it is, 40% of the gas to Europe. Russians got loads of gas. They want to sell more. They built this pipeline. Comes from Russia into Germany, and it bypasses Ukraine. Ukraine charges a fee, a toll fee, for all of the gas which comes through the pipeline from Russia to Germany via Ukraine. The Ruskies aren't too keen on this. They think that the toll that the Ukrainians are charging touch on the high side, and they would prefer, because the infrastructure through the Ukraine is possibly getting old, instead of revamping that, they'll build Nord Stream 2. There's already Nord Stream 1, so it's a second pipeline. There's also a Nord Stream South, which goes down Turkey way, and then from Turkey up into the belly of Europe, Romania, Bulgaria, into Austria, I think. And I think there's a link across to Italy being done or proposed. So the Ruskies want to sell the gas to the Jerrys. The Jerrys want to buy the gas from the Ruskies, but Uncle Sam, Uncle President Joe Biden says, no. He put the sanctions on against trying to build the Nord Stream 2. He put on the US companies, they couldn't help. So the Shell, which is a British company, has been helping out with Nord Stream 2 with the financing with the Russian state oil company. So, why do the Yankees not want Nord Stream 2? Why do the Yankees not want lots of things? They think it makes the Jerrys too dependent on the Ruskies, and they're not too keen on that. But where do they get the gas from, if not from the Ruskies? The Noggies can't give them any more gas. Noggies are flowing their gas at max capacity. They just can't. Pipelines from the Norwegian gas, offshore gas fields, full capacity. They can't give them any more. So, which have to come from Qatar, which is in the Middle East. Big field there, the North Field, huge gas field. But you've got to liquefy it to transport it from Qatar to Germany. And it would probably end up being slightly more expensive than getting your gas from Russia. On the Allies side, the US, with the old puppet master, President Biden, kicks his puppet, Prime Minister Boris, get into action, get yourself across there, try and get these Ruskies to back down. The Ruskies basically saying, can you please stop expanding NATO right up to our borders, because they'll then want to start putting missiles in countries which border us. And we just don't feel too comfortable about that. The Yankees say, nah, you shouldn't be bothered about that. We were never bothered about people putting missiles in countries next door to us. That's always been, no, it hasn't, has it? No. Early 60s, 61, 62-ish, the Ruskies were putting missiles in Cuba, which is about 90 miles away from Miami. And President Kennedy at the time said, not use Ruskies, you just can't have them weapons next door to us. But here, presto, 70 odd years later, 60 odd years later, here we are with the Ruskies saying basically identically the same thing. We don't want weapons put next door to us by belligerent powers. No. Foot's on the other boot. The boot's on the other foot, and it's okay. It's okay because we're the Yankees and we want them weapons there. And you lot just have to sit there and take it, because we'll give you sanctions and we'll stop all of the trade and we'll make you bankrupt. Now, bear in mind that there's around about 140, 150 million Ruskies, and there's well over 400 million people in Europe, and then you add on the over 300 million people in the United States. That's 700 million plus on one side and 150, let's call it, on the other. So maybe Rambo might think that that's pretty decent odds, 5-1 against. But I would imagine the Ruskies only want to sell you the gas. They just want to sell you the gas. Come and buy me gas. We'll put this pipeline. It's a lovely pipeline. It's one of the best pipelines we've ever made. It's a smashing new pipeline. Take loads of gas. All the old lads in Mercedes, and in the car factories in Germany, all the Fräuleins at home, be able to put a gas central heating on, have lovely warm CH4 Russian methane gas. President Biden says, no, I don't want you to have any of that gas. We'll give you some more gas from the that we've been fracking about with in the Dakotas and in the Texas areas, and we'll give you that gas. It'll be a bit more expensive, like, but you'll get some Yankee gas, or we'll get some Middle East Arab gas. But I don't want you to have any more of that Russian gas. It's just not good gas. So they also, the Ruskies say, but there's a lot of people in the eastern part of Ukraine, or as Boris Johnson likes to think of it, UK-rain. There's a lot of Russian-speaking people, and they want possibly separatism, i.e. split away from Ukraine. So there you go. He pays your money, he takes the choice. But WWIII is on hold at the moment. President Putin says he's moving troops around. You know, that's what they normally do. All of the troops are within Russia, so you know, don't get your Calvin Kleins in a knot. We can do what we want in what one country. And by the way, Boris, when are you getting them troops out of that Scotland? He's been on the phone with Nicola. She says she wants all them foreign occupation troops out of Scotland and have our own little referendum. President Biden still trumpeting it's going to be a war. So he's got the American arms people on overtime. They can crank out some more missiles and anti-tank stuff, and everybody can make a few dollars out of it. Ka-ching. Look for the money, and you'll not go too far wrong. Just one last thing. They had the Daily Star a few days ago, big picture of Tickle the Sickle to stop WWIII. This is Uri Geller. So apparently there was enough people that tickled the sickle at specific times, and he's claiming that that's what stopped WWIII. So there you go. So big thank you to Uri, and that's it.